guys, welcome back to the farm. I'm Katie from Mitza Creek Farm, and I did a Q&A box on social media, and I asked in my community on here, and I got a couple emails too. Different questions that we get asked, and ask your questions. I opened it up to anything and anyone, and so I am going to go through the questions that I got and give you my answers. This question is, how many pumpkins did you pick this year? I have no clue. Well over 1,000 if you include gourds and squash, that kind of stuff. But I literally have no clue because we sell direct to consumer. Other people who sell wholesale or sell by the bins, that kind of stuff, they would know because that's how they price their product. But because of having the roadside stand and then having the stone coop open and then doing a market every other Saturday, I literally, when I'm running it through the cash register, I just type pumpkins and do the subtotal for the pumpkins. Same for squash, same for gourds, that kind of stuff. So I have no clue. This is a super common question that we get asked a lot. Can I plant my mum in the ground? Yes, you can. At least the mums that we grow, we get the variety that you can plant in the ground. There are some varieties that you can't. I believe that they are called florist mums, and those are different, but I do make sure we can. I have successfully done it. That's what is in front of all those fences there. I strongly recommend that you plant now, and you want to give them lots of water and give the roots a good chance to get growing in the ground and get established in the ground. And then you need to make sure that they have lots and lots of water. If it were me, I'd throw some straw over them for the winter just to give them an extra layer of protection. In the spring, I would take and I'd trim off all the dead parts, and you should start seeing little green leaves pop up. This question is, I'm curious, what do you do with your flock's wool? And as you guys know, we have Navajo Churro sheep, and as of today, we do nothing with the wool. I have tried a few different projects trying to experiment with it. I know nothing about wool. I know nothing about fleece. And so right now they are all sitting in bags in the barn. But we do have something in the works. I'm not going to share yet what it is, but I'm hoping that next week I will have a different answer for you. This question is, what is the hardest part of farming for me? I would say the hardest part of farming for me is not having the right equipment and having the right stuff for what we need and what we're trying to do. This is exhausting, doing everything by hand. And so if we could get a manure spreader and a tiller, I don't even know if a manure spreader and a tiller, I could potentially plant larger areas of pumpkins. If we were to get a manure spreader is the big thing, because then we could spread compost and then we could really add a lot back into our soil organically. And it would just take all the stuff from the barn and our big compost piles and stuff and be able to spread it easy. That would be wonderful. Yeah, so not having the right tools for the job, doing all of this by hand, is exhausting. This question is, what does my day look like? And I can honestly tell you that my day never looks the same. I might do a video in the future on a day in the life, but really it's a lot of jumping from project to project to project and trying to get as much done as physically possible in 12 to 18 hours a day. If you could change one thing, what would it be? If I could change one thing, I think I would get more equipment so that things can run a little easier here. I would, like I said earlier, love to get a manure spreader and a tiller, and if I could get a couple wagons that I could transform into pumpkin wagons so that I can have dividers and everything on there so that I can keep everything organized and divided and laid out really nicely. That is what I would change. Would be thrilled if we would be able to add like a perimeter on the backside of our property and have our entire property fenced in, or even just more pasture fenced in so that we're not using temporary fences. But I think, we've been adding, all the profit from our farm goes right back to the farm. So we put up all of that fencing. It was like 3,000 feet of field fencing this summer. And next year we'll do the same. So really, realistically, if we could have the equipment we need, heck, even a UTV with a dump box would be wonderful because I could pick and put it in the dump box and drive it somewhere and not have to haul wagon loads like the garden wagons, not have to haul them. So if I could get better equipment so that it is easier to do all of this work, I totally would do that. This question is, what is my favorite thing to grow? I love growing tomatoes. I love growing sunflowers and flowers. I do those just for my enjoyment. Probably tulips are my favorite. But if we're talking pumpkins, I love growing them all. Pumpkins are, I can't describe how much I love growing pumpkins. I would say that it's my favorite, but I feel like, I don't know. Like I love looking at the sunflowers and I love looking at the flowers and just being like, wow, that is beautiful. But there's something about walking in the pumpkin field and seeing the different varieties and seeing how different they all are and seeing them grow and change color and all of that. I cannot explain how much I love growing pumpkins. If we didn't have a pumpkin patch, I would still grow pumpkins. I still would. The first year that I grew pumpkins, our very first year here, it actually was our second summer here because we got here halfway through the summer, the first year. And I planted my first patch and I loved it. I loved everything about it. And it is something that I will continue to grow even if we do not have this in the future. Best pumpkin to grow. Well, I think that would be really dependent on what you're looking for a pumpkin. I still have a few that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna grow these every year, but the rest I'm pretty flexible on, and I don't have a super solid opinion on. As you guys know, I've been tweaking how I grow things and the varieties that I grow. So I might have, like next year, a different opinion on this. I mean, nothing beats a good carver, right? They're just beautiful. But there are such fun varieties and they're also different. And I think that's why I like it. If I just had to grow one type of pumpkin, oh, I don't know. I have no clue. I'm really liking the icicle ones this year. Those are like about 2 pounds, little white, cute little pie pumpkins. Early giant, I did not grow this year, but those are really good early giant carvers, and those would be really good. But I don't have a set, this is my favorite pumpkin, at least not yet. What grasses are these? And I'll put a picture here so you can see bigger. We had 2 different types of grasses that we grew. I think you're talking about the Amazon mist, which is what you see in the front of the picture here. And this is shorter green, but really wispy, really cool looking. This is our 3rd year growing Amazon mist. I'm going to continue growing it every year. There is a variety similar to that is actually a perennial for our area, so I'm going to look into that for this next year. The other one, the red one, is purple fountain grass. It's kind of the tried and true fall grass. I think the tag on this one said red fountain grass, but I ordered purple. I think it's all the same. It just depends on the vendor that I buy the plugs from. And this one here, I almost didn't respond to, but I'm going to anyways. Why so long to respond to messages? It's the next day, and I have re-edited and refilmed this answer many times, but I am responsible for 100 animals that get moved almost every day. I am responsible for 3 businesses plus YouTube and all of the commenting and filming and everything, plus the actual work that we have to do and the work that we have to do down here and meeting with customers and being open here in the stone coop and having a roadside stand and doing a market every other week, plus family life, and my kids need a mom, and I have a son who is in football and has practice and games in and out of town and all of that. And our life is very, very, very busy. And I'm sorry if it takes me a few hours or a day to reply to comments. Every once in a while, there is a comment that, or a message or an email that gets buried because it comes in after I've gone to bed or my phone has died or I lost my phone, whatever. By the time I grab my phone, there are pages of things that I have to scroll through that need my attention. And so sometimes I do miss things, and I apologize for that. But you need to remember that there are real people behind the camera. There are real people who are trying to run this business, and real people who are just trying to get as much done as they possibly can each day, and you need to give people grace. And that's all I can really say on that. I'm trying to be as kind as I possibly can, because just because I missed one comment or didn't reply within an hour or so, whatever the issue is, I'm just doing my best. This question is, how come you aren't open more? And it's just simply because we don't have time. I am open 3 to 4 days a week down here at the Stone Coop. Our roadside stand is always open. We go to a market on the first and third Saturdays of the month in town. After that market, after we pack everything up, we bring it home, we unload it, then we open up down here for a few more hours in the evening. And I also work a full-time job. My husband works a full-time job. My son is in sports and goes to school. My other daughter who's at home is a senior this year, and she is doing all of those senior things that they do. Plus, she is also doing college classes. And then my oldest daughter is in college in an entirely different time zone, so that adds a whole nother wrench into things. But I simply do not have the time, and I need to hire somebody to be down here so that I am able to get everything done that needs to get done. But we can't afford to hire somebody at this point. Maybe next year. I'm really, really hoping next year. And so it is what it is. I can't be open down here 6 or 7 days a week because I simply do not have the time, because I have to work my other jobs. So because we are growing everything ourselves and picking everything, it is very laborious to pick it all and to haul it out, wash it off, and put it on display. So that we need days to be able to do that, where we don't have to stop everything if a customer comes. And also restocking the roadside stand is a huge task. Yesterday during the day while I was working my other job, I restocked the stand 3 times. And that took about 4 hours total to restock down there. Plus I have to water mums down there as well. So it is, something has to give. And right now that is not being open full-time down here. It's only part-time. Next year it might be the roadside stand. I said we'd always keep that, but if that is taking 4 hours a day out of my schedule, I could potentially be open down here 4 hours a day. That might be the thing that changes. But right now I I don't know. I need some clarity over the winter on what my plans are going to be. And we will obviously share that with people in the future, but that is why we currently are not open more down here at the Stone Coop. I simply do not have time. So this question is, will we be getting more flat stacker pumpkins in? The answer is no, not this year. We grow everything that we sell ourselves, except for some of the things in the Stone Coop. But pumpkins, mums, everything like that, we grow ourselves. And so it takes about 100 to 125 days to grow a flat stacker pumpkin. And so when we are out, we are out. We don't order extra in. We aren't like other places like nurseries and greenhouses where they will get shipments in. We don't do that at all. Everything that we have here is what we grow ourselves. So when we sell out, and we are sold out of those for the year. This one here is an email that I got from a YouTube viewer, and I just want to say thank you. Your kind words are wonderful. I appreciate it so much. I let the negative comments get to me, and so when I get nice comments, I appreciate them so much. So thank you. This question says, how do you balance your work and family life when your work is at your house? That's a good question. I actually have to go get back from football, so once I get there, I will hopefully have my thoughts together on that one. So living on a diversified farm like we do, where it's really diversified, like we literally have 1, 2, 3, 4 types, 5 types of animals that we raise for protein, and then pumpkins and Christmas trees and mums and everything. It is really, really hard to find the balance of work and home life. And this is where we struggle a lot. Part of that is that people don't understand how busy we are. And so there are a lot of people who just open our gate and let themselves in. And that makes it really, really hard because we feels like we always have to be ready for somebody to come. Animals have to come first. Animal feeding has to come first. All of that. So for us, it's really hard. And when feels like we're just running, it is really hard to find the work-life balance. We are trying really hard right now to take off Sundays and get what we need to have done on Sundays, get it done, and then like watch the Packer game together or something like that. But otherwise, this is a major struggle of ours. So I don't have a balance. I have no suggestions for that at all. That's a major struggle of ours. I wish I had more advice, but I don't. So those are all of the questions I got. That is it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time.